Hey boys and girls, Mrs. Wells here. Today we're going to read chapter 25. So before we get started, a couple of vocabulary words. The first one is cutting school. And cutting school means to intentionally miss class, usually to pursue some other activity. Are you cutting school? He says, stepping out of his car. And look at this little meme. If you cut class, I will hunt you down. I will find you. And in Roblox, he says, don't skip school, kid. The other vocabulary word for chapter 25 is dashboard. That is the panel facing the driver of a vehicle or the pilot of an aircraft containing instruments and controls. We make it to the next corner before he takes his hand and slaps it on the dashboard. And now we're going to read chapter 25. Hey, Dr. Mitchell, I say, rubbing a spot off the hood. You getting the whole thing done or just the windows? I don't look him in the eyes. Are you cutting school? He says, stepping out of his car. I find another tiny spot and start rubbing that one too. Get in, he says, going around to the other side, opening the door for me. What's going on? Look at yourself, he says, making a face. I look at Oddjob, then I look at Dr. Mitchell. I ain't finished. Let's go, now, he says. He's acting like my father or something, bossing me around. But I do what he says, 'cause all he got to do is tell Mama, and then I'm going to be in more trouble. I gotta go, Oddjob, I say, handing over the money pack. He reaches in the purple sack and pulls out some bills. He hands me $15 and says he'll see me later. After school one day, all right? When I'm in Dr. Mitchell's car, I hear Oddjob's big voice say for us to hold up. Raspberry Cherry, he says, leaning inside the car. You cool for tonight? He asked, trying to see if I got a warm place to lay my head. Yeah, 'cause you know I got a place for y'all, he says to me real quiet. Except for that dog crap, it's all right, you know, he says. I know, I say. Next thing I know, Dr. Mitchell's driving off, turning on some corny music from the station that only plays stuff with violins and flutes. Okay, let's talk, he says. I can't reach your mother. You're out here when you should be in school, and now Oddjob's saying he has a place for you two to live. We make it to the next corner before he takes his hand and slaps it on the dashboard. What's going on with you two? Is your mother all right? Before he can ask me anything else, the tears come. We gonna be living back on the streets again, I say in a shaky voice. I got my money in my hand and I'm shaking all over, crying so much that Dr. Mitchell pulls the car over on the side of a busy street and holds me till I stop. Why didn't she call me? He says, wiping my face with a tissue. You could have stayed with us. I look at him and start crying again. You don't know, Dr. Mitchell, I say. When you ain't got your own place, people don't treat you right. They say you come stay with us, but when you do, they act like they can't wait for you to leave. You think it's better to be on the streets, he says, to sleep on floors or out in the cold? I don't know how many tears a person got inside him, but it must be a whole lot, 'cause for the next hour I cry. My face is red, my eyes are puffed, and my nose is raw from rubbing it. Dr. Mitchell ain't got no more tissues left when I'm done. Darn it, he says, slamming his fist on the steering wheel and cutting on the engine. I forgot to pick up Zora. She probably took the bus by now, he says, reminding me that school let out early today. We race through red lights and almost have an accident trying to get to Zora. On the way, Dr. Mitchell says he wants us to stay with them. I'll pick your mother up from work tonight and bring her home. She needs to learn she can depend on people, he says, pulling up to the school. Seneca is sitting out front. She says that Zora left a while ago. By the time we get to their house, Zora is unlocking the front door. She rolls her eyes at me when I step out the car. Her father kisses her and apologizes for not picking her up, but he don't tell her why he's late or why he got me with him. He just says that me and Mama will be staying for a while. Zora don't like it when people spring surprises on her. She don't look at me or say a word. When we get upstairs, Zora says, I need privacy. Then she shuts her bedroom door in my face.